You can be creative and be financially minded. I hear from artists and creatives all the time, oh, I just don't know how to make money at doing the things that I'm passionate about. And where there's a will, there's a way.
Some of this AI has kind of like freed up some of that time window for you. So I think a lot of times people just need to understand and embrace mindset, because a lot of things are possible if you simply view them as possible.
AI can be very beneficial, free up time for you. It can take care of certain things like marketing, advertising for yourself. AI will never replace that personal connection though.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I am your host, Jacqueline Crider. And today we have Miss Kathryn, and she is a UX expert. She does some consulting. She's very much in the creative space. So I'm going to kind of let her introduce herself, and we are excited to have her on the show. So tell us a little more about you. Tell us why you're excited to be on the show today.
Yeah, thanks, Jax. I appreciate the opportunity to come on. I'm a vice president of strategy and design at Citibank. On the side, I do a lot of creative things. So I run an online business that's art, gifts, and home furnishings. I am the president of the Art Club of McKinney, Texas. I love mentoring creatives and just like being involved in all things creative.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When I don't know, I didn't tell you beforehand, but my mom is actually interior design. So even though I'm way more in the financial space of my professional, career, in my personal life, I feel like I also deal a lot with the creative, just because of like who's in my family and stuff like that. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because people be like, I don't understand. Why are you so, like, you have to have all these things just so in your house and stuff. And I'm like, well, if you knew my mother, then you'd understand.
That's great, though. It's good to have that influence.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I know that we wanted to talk a little bit today about how there's like some kind of common misnomers surrounding people that are creative.
Yes.
And that maybe they're not so great at like some of this business stuff, some of this math stuff and money stuff. And you and I both agree. We just don't believe that that's just not true.
It is not true. And I am here to tell people that you can be creative and be financially minded. So I hear from artists and creatives all the time, oh, I just don't know how to make money at doing the things that I'm passionate about. And where there's a will, there's a way. So,
Oh, yeah.
Training, mentoring, having someone coach you. We talked about coaching earlier. There are so many ways to be financially minded and still keep that passion for creativity, no matter what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and like I said, I mean, so it's funny because my mom is very creative, but she actually is really heavy math minded as well. And so, yes, I mean, a lot of people are probably listening, yeah, but she's normally naturally math minded. But just because somebody is math minded, I mean, there's plenty of people that are not necessarily like that's not their strength, but it doesn't mean it has to be a weakness either, right? Like, for sure.
Yeah, it's funny how many people I've met just within, my circles that are engineers or math minded. And they say, oh, I can't draw anything. I can't be creative. And then they'll take a class or they'll go to some kind of event and they'll do something creative. And they're like, I didn't even know I could do that. So, I do feel like we're equipped. We just need to reveal that within ourselves.
I feel like a lot of people are way more powerful than they know, and a lot of fronts, like not just like the creative and the math piece. Like there's so many different aspects. I mean, I think it's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about money in general is that money is really just a tool. It's a catalyst for getting you to where you want to go. And you have the ability to literally take it and use it in whatever it is you are passionate about. And you can be taught that tool. It's not like, and unfortunately in education, and this is something that I'm also really passionate about because I'm very passionate about education. And part of the reason I do the podcast and all the different platforms and things that I do is that we're not getting some of that education in school. And so this is like yielding where we feel like we're not good at something, which is not true. Like just because you're not good at trigonometry does not mean that you cannot be good at the basics of like what the math takes to run a business or what the financials need to look like, right?
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I feel like if you can surround yourself with people who have the knowledge, you can transfer that knowledge and you can learn. So yeah, I definitely believe that. Going back to what you're saying about being able to, make money to fund things that you're passionate about. So I do that currently. My day job at Citibank, I take some of that money that I earn and I fund all my passion projects. And that then creates more funding. So
Yep.
it's really interesting how you can move money around. So, a lot of people say, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. And I'm here to tell you, you can do that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you completely. I think that you're right that sometimes people just get very stuck, right? I
Right.
mean, the whole new platform that I launched called Financial Instincts Framework is all about, first of all, understanding like the premise of it is basically that like you have like a financial spirit animal, like something that you sort of naturally align with, right? Whether you spend a lot of money, you save a lot of money, like some kind of attribute sort of, and then figuring out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses and like how do we navigate those, because I think that's the misnomer is it's like, well, this is where I'm at and I can't get any better, but I mean pretty much anything you can get better at. And the truth is just because maybe you don't love it, you can learn the skill, and then eventually if it's not something that you love, you can offload it and find somebody who can fill that gap for you in business, right? Or in life, right? So like I'll be real, I can't stand laundry. I hate it. I'm ADHD. As crazy
Uh-huh.
as it sounds, I will legitimately forget that I started it. So like I'll start a load of laundry and 4 days later I'll be like, oh crap, I forgot that I started a load of laundry and now it's mildewed and disgusting. And
Right.
so I farm that task out. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm not capable and I don't have the power or the skill set to be able to do laundry, right? Like
Right.
I can do the skill set, but it's about finding the things that are aligning, right? After I've taught
Yes.
myself that and finding that this for me is not my highest and best use. And so it's worth the money to me to be able to have somebody else handle the task, right?
Yes, you totally agree with that. So I had started a while back a consulting service called Third Entity, and it's really geared towards creatives. Funny enough, because we have such as creatives, we have this kind of thought mindset that, oh, I want to be an artist. I don't want to focus on the business stuff. It makes me feel weird, and you can do both. And you might be a little uncomfortable at first, but you can get into a rhythm where you're making a business out of your creative passion. And
For sure.
so, with the consulting, it's how can I give you the knowledge, to go out and do things on your own, but also how can I help you elevate yourself so that you are making money at what you do, or you're earning an income, or you're getting more visibility. Yeah, I definitely think that creatives have a certain mindset, and I see more and more people stepping out
Mhm.
into more of the I value myself. I'm going to get training. I'm going to get the knowledge. I'm going to get the coaching, and they're succeeding at what they're doing with their
Stay
passion.
tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge, join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. The Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform. Start your path to financial independence now.
Visit us at fms.tips and fms.college for more information.
Hello and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 4-693-733-107 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins.
Thanks for your patience.
They actually, I sat in a mastermind about a week ago, and we were talking about the changes that are coming, specifically with AI, right? And that, of course, has been like this huge topic and window of conversation about how AI is shaping the game. But one of the interesting things that he said that I thought, wow, and it's really applicable to what we're talking about, is the fact that within 5 to 10 years, almost all regular labor costs are going to go down near to zero, because we're going to have these functionalities, be it either systems or robots, right, that are going to be able to perform a lot of these menial tasks that we were so often having to do. And what a lot of people think is scary, they see that as like, oh, that's a horrible thing, right? Because now it's going to strip me of my job, or it's going to strip me of this or that. In a weird way, if you shift your mindset on that, it's actually a beautiful thing, because now it means that when you are looking to do those big things like create, right, those things that, I'm sorry, a robot can't do an amazing and really capture, you know, a sunset in the way that maybe somebody who loves to paint or draw can, right? And now it frees up the time, because you're not focusing on the laundry or like the little tiny menial labor kind of task you were once focused on, because now some of this AI has kind of like freed up some of that time window for you. And so I think a lot of times people just need to understand and embrace mindset, because a lot of things are possible if you simply view them as possible.
Right. Yes, definitely agree. AI often gets a negative rap because of exactly what you said. However, if you're looking at it in a positive light, AI can be very beneficial. Like you said, free up time for you. It can take care of certain things like marketing, advertising for yourself. AI will never replace that personal connection, though.
That's correct.
Which is important for people, especially like as creatives, that we need to keep that in mind, you know, and not fear the future, but figure out how do we use things like that, AI, other tools, platforms, to elevate our game. And how do we turn that? How can we potentially turn that into a business for ourselves, or, you know, make some money off of it?
Well, yeah, you can leverage it hugely. Like, I mean, I'll give you perfect examples. Even though I do math, and that's like basically my main job for a living, right? I've been in mortgage for over 20 some odd years, and I do the financial coaching piece, etc. My creativity piece comes from writing. So it's something that I've always loved, and I've always enjoyed, and I've always been good at. Actually, as crazy as it sounds, so I started as a mechanical engineering major. Then I was business accounting, and then I was creative writing English. And I'll never forget that my family was like, "You're wasting your time. What a horrible thing to get a degree in, Jax. Like, how crazy are you?" But I genuinely enjoyed the creativity, the world, right, that people could bring you into with books, and like how they could really reshape things. And I love that. And so the first book I wrote, which was last year, that one I actually wrote very old school. Like, I created the outline and I did it very old school. Well, I've been in the process of creating several more. I've been in a couple anthologies this year, as well as writing a secondary book. And AI has been so instrumental in this because
Yes.
even though it's my voice and I'm the one who's saying the things, because I'm ADHD and I bounce all over the place and kind of my
Right.
brain goes so many different directions, it's really helping me hone and organize and kind of reminding me, okay, Jax, bring it in, brevity, right? Because it's
Right.
not something I'm naturally great at.
Yes.
And it's like a superpower I didn't even know I needed AI.
Right. Yes.
For real.
And all the things that you're talking about, mechanical engineering, creative writing, to me, everything that we as individuals are involved in our own lives are all interconnected.
For
and
sure.
and we have these tools out there that we can leverage to enhance everything that we do. It's still us as individuals. We have, like you said, we have our own voice, but how are you using the resources around you to elevate, right? So yeah, I totally
Sure.
agree with that.
No, and it's fascinating. Like I was gonna tell for those of you who don't love numbers, right? And I mean, I do numbers for a living, right? Like that's what I do. But you know what I
Right.
actually hate to do? I hate doing the numbers for my own businesses. I hate it.
Oh, I can relate. Yeah.
It's boring to me. Like I'd rather just
Right.
spend the money to help create the next project and do the next creative thing that involves numbers than like sitting back and being like, okay, what
Now
do
for
I
the
need to make in revenue?
part.
Like
Yeah.
what do I have to do for my marketing spend? Like I don't like to do all that. It's boring, right? I
Right.
don't, that's not my favorite thing either. And a group that I'm a part of, like they've created a lot of custom GPTs, and one of them is called the Revenue GPT. And literally, it was like the coolest experience ever because it was kind of creative and kind of interactive, where you
Yeah.
sort of told it like what you wanted to do and how much you wanted to make, what your goals were, and then it did all that math for you. It told you like what conversion ratios you needed and how much ad spend you wanted to do, and it spit it all out. And I thought to myself, man, this is such a cool thing that like we're getting to use. Like we're living in a time where a lot of this stuff that would have taken us days and
Yes,
weeks, and we would have, let's be real, we would have avoided it like the plague. It would have been the thing in
absolutely.
the back corner that we
Yeah.
would not have touched for months.
Yes, but now as a creative, whether you're running a business, whether you're selling artwork, whether you're designing websites, whatever it is, we have these tools that can, if you have a fear or an aversion against doing something, you have all these tools that make it so much easier now. So why not take advantage of it?
Yes.
We live in interesting times right now.
Yeah, and it's really funny to me when you have a conversation with people who have a very scarcity mentality versus a very abundant mentality. Because the
Yeah,
people with scarcity mentality are convinced that AI is the devil and it's coming for our jobs and like
right.
we're gonna just whatever. And then I think back to like when people, like literally like 100 years ago,
Yes,
when we barely had cars, like that really wasn't much of a thing, right? Like
right.
public transportation didn't really exist.
Yes,
I mean, all different kinds of things. If you think about the modern time, like think about what happened in the last 100 years. The
right.
internet, microwaves, like, I mean, whether it be very business related or very home based, whichever way you want to look at it,
Right.
did all of those things stop life? Did
No.
they allow people to not be successful,
Yeah.
either financially or otherwise? Like,
Yes.
no,
Yes. Y2K,
right?
I mean, for those who remember Y2K, everyone thought end of the world, right? But it was not, we woke up the next day and things were the same. So yes, totally agree. There's a fear there. And I think we have to be self-aware that we
For
have
sure.
that fear and not let it control us to a point where we're not moving forward and making progress in our own lives, and that it doesn't become an obstacle. And
For
I think,
sure.
going back to finance in general, numbers, math, money, don't be afraid of it. There are so many people and resources out there that can help you on that journey, so that you may not ever embrace it, but at least you'll have a good relationship with it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, again, anything like change in general is just scary, right?
It
And like
is.
it's it's
Yes.
it's interesting we tell ourselves story, like you're talking about the creatives telling themselves a story that, well, I'm not good at math, like I can't run my own business and I
Right.
can't scale this or or whatever it is. And I mean, it's simply not true. I mean, this is another great example of a time when there's never been a better time for creatives to be able to make money. Because if
Yes.
you think all the way back, like Vincent van Gogh and things like that, right? Like his whole family financially supported him. He didn't
Right.
make jack when he was
No.
alive, right? He didn't. He made nothing. I mean, everybody in his community was basically supporting him but him.
Right.
Now we have so many abilities. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. So, and this is where sometimes it's thinking outside the box. So my oldest stepdaughter is an amazing artist, like amazing.
Awesome.
She's off the charts, and she has been she has drawn her whole life. I mean, I can remember no matter where we went in life, she had her sketchbook in hand and she was out there
That's
drawing.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
that was her, right? Always drawing. And she wants to be a animator. So she really would like to have her own animated show. That's her ultimate goal. And I've had conversations with her about, hey, have you considered like starting your own show on YouTube, right? Because
Yes.
now you don't have to go to wait till some big studio finds you and like
So true.
they take off and they take your show. Like you can do it yourself.
Yes.
That's something she can just do. Or the other thing that, because I've been in this book writing kind of bent, I guess, if you will, the last year or so, the bug sort of officially took hold and just like said, Jax, write all the books about all the things. She and I talked about writing children's books. And so she's going to illustrate them.
Yes.
And this
I
is a way
love
for
it.
her to make passive income
Yes.
off of one creative project, right? That she's
Right.
creating. So is it maybe exactly where she wanted to be, like on the animation piece? No, but it is a way for her to make money.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And to me, it's never a straight path. It's never a straight path getting to where you want to go.
Yes.
I mean, life has a way of taking you all sorts of places you never thought you'd be. And yeah, I mean, the creator tools that are out there right now, I mean, you don't have to wait around. You can do whatever you want. And I always tell people, a lot of the creatives that I coach and mentor, younger, all different ages, everybody says the sky is the limit. My biggest thing is there is no limit. You can go beyond the sky. You can go wherever you want to go if you have the mindset for it. And, we see that today. I mean, you see it out there all the time. So we hold ourselves back with, things that we fear or, and they're valid, but are we working towards figuring out how to relieve some of that anxiety?
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, your go-to podcast for making smart money decisions. We break down complex financial topics into easy-to-understand advice you can use every day. Our experts cover everything from budgeting and saving to investing and retirement planning. We give you the tools to take control of your money and build the future you want. With Financial Mastery Simplified, you'll feel informed and empowered to make the best choices for your financial health. Tune in to Financial Mastery Simplified on your favorite podcast platform. Start your journey to financial confidence today.
Visit us at fms.tips and fms.college for more information.
Welcome to House U, where we believe in the power of education. At House U, we're more than just a brand. We're your partner in home ownership, dedicated to educating, equipping, and empowering you every step of the way. Education is at the heart of everything we do. We offer comprehensive resources designed to make home ownership simple and accessible for all. From understanding mortgage options to mastering home maintenance, House U provides the knowledge you need to make informed decisions with confidence. We host workshops and seminars, bringing together experts and community members to share insights and build a stronger, more informed community. Because when you're educated, you're empowered. House U, home ownership made simple for all. Visit our website or contact us today to start your journey with House U. Empower yourself with knowledge and embrace the joy of home ownership.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
Oh, no, I agree. Well, and explain for Citibank, you are UX expert, right?
Yes.
And I guarantee you a lot of people have no idea what UX is. And the reason I say that is because until I was friends with somebody who was going to school to be certified in UX, I had no idea what it was. Like she said this and I was like, you're doing what again? And she's like,
Right.
UX. And I'm like, what is UX? So you want to explain? Because I guarantee you a lot
Absolutely.
of creative people have never thought of that as like, oh, this is something I could do that is
Yes.
is tapping my creative bent as a way to make money.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is also it also is a really lucrative career, right?
It really is. So a lot of people hear a designer job, graphic design. That's one thing in itself. When you're talking about user experience, you're talking about creating experiences for customers end to end. That means, like for Citibank, I'll give you an example. On the mobile app or on the website, once you log in, what do you do after that until the time you log out? So this sequential experience that you go through, that's what you create. Or I'll give you another example. Going to Disney. Disney thinks about their experience from the time you step onto their campus, to the time you leave. And user experience is everywhere.
Mhm.
My daughter
Big.
is 22 and she's visually impaired. And being a UX person, I am constantly looking for ways to make life easier for her. Menus,
Absolutely.
going into a restaurant that's not dark so she can see. So, I mean, I'm a big advocate for accessibility and inclusivity. I tell people all the time who are interested in creative careers or design careers, consider accessibility,
Mm.
product design. There are so many avenues that you can apply user experience to, even with finance.
Yeah.
So, it can change everything when you have a UX mindset of what is the experience like, and even apply that to yourself. How do you create a great user experience for your life?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong there. Well, and I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that in a weird way, because we are sort of leveling up through like avenues, like more
Yes,
resources, AI, right? We're more united globe, like as far as, right, like how we connect with people
right.
and all these different aspects. I mean, this is opening up a whole avenue of things that people haven't even really ever thought about,
Yes, exactly.
which is maybe terrifying for some, but if you really think about it on the mindset piece, like that's so cool, right? I mean,
Exciting.
it's so cool to me that, through the use of some of my connections and things like that, my stepdaughter was able to, now she is a published illustrator, right?
Yes,
She
I
has her
love
name
it.
out there. It's on a book. Like what a
Right.
cool thing to give her credibility, to give her, I mean, way back when you had to go to a publishing thing, you had to really fight for that. It was a whole ordeal. You had to have this huge portfolio. And now if you want to do it, pretty much you can figure it out. I mean, my book is self-published. I went through like a small publishing company that some people that I know, but more or
Right.
less like we did it ourselves. It wasn't like we used some big name and Random House or Penguin or something like that. And it was great. It's great for me that I can put my message, my thing out there. So monetarily, I think people are just thinking small. Right.
Right.
Gone are the days where, okay, well, you get out of school or whatever, and then you just get this job and you work it
Right.
forever. And then that's it. You die in the
Yeah.
end.
And that's it.
That's it. I mean, and think about how great that is, right? Like some of our grandparents, and there's a specific story that I'm thinking of. So there's a woman, and I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Her name is Marley Jacks, and she's like the queen of viral video. She has lots of stuff, and
Uh-huh.
I love her as a person. She's actually supposed to be on the show not horribly long from now, but she's an amazing person. I love her. I've gone to several different masterminds with her. We always joke Jax and Marley Jacks, right? Like
I love
standing
it.
by each other and
Yeah.
all that. And anyway, she tells a story about her grandfather and how he was a photographer and that was his love, right? And he was this amazing photographer. And his parents started struggling with the farm. And
Yes.
so he had to sell his camera and go back home with his brand new wife that he had just married. And they had to help save a farm.
Right.
And he didn't get to live out like this passion, right? Like we're now living in an era where it doesn't matter what it is, right? How ridiculous it may seem to your parents or your ancestors, doesn't matter.
Right.
Like I'll never forget when my girl said, "You can make money playing video games, Jax." And I was like, "What?
Yeah.
You can make money doing what?"
Right. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a show where I think it's like you can be a mermaid. You can be part of this mermaid culture. I mean, literally, if you can dream it, there is something out there. I
I
feel
promise, yeah.
Life is very much like the Mario game, where he goes along the path and then he sees like the place, the little tube where you go down and you get the coins and it's
Yep.
just like extra money. I feel like life is full of those opportunities if we're willing to grab them.
Yep. Oh, no, it for sure is, and I think that's where creatives, but not even just creative, just people in general, when it comes to money, you're
Yes.
missing the boat. Like, you feel like it's this scarcity thing, and I get it, right? When the
Right.
economy gets tight and when things start kind of niching down and you just feel like you're in a box, it's very hard to see that forest through the trees. But it exists,
It
right?
does.
It's right there in front of you, and you just have to literally reach out and grab it, right? And I'll be real, there are going to be moments that maybe it isn't very comfortable. Maybe it's not comfortable
True.
because it's unusual. It could be uncomfortable because you are having to like learn a new skill that you didn't really want to have to learn. Maybe you're having to give up your sleep because that means that you have to stay up a little late at night or early in the morning to get this new thing off the ground, but the opportunity is there if you want it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I appreciate the authenticity. It's hard work, right? The opportunities are out there, but you have to work at them,
Right.
and make it happen. And you can, we see people. I mean, I love that you have this podcast because if we can surround ourselves with people that are constantly inspiring and encouraging and proving out the point, we will see more people seizing those opportunities.
For sure. Well, and like I said, I started because the truth is that I guess I never thought it was weird. I have always believed to my core that people are powerful beyond measure, that there
Yes.
really isn't limits,
Right.
that if you really want to do it, you're able. And it's so odd because it's a very foreign concept to me that people believe otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
in my brain, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, no, we're capable of doing whatever we want. And if you really want it bad enough, you will go out and you will find a way and get it. And I don't know if that's because I was raised by a family where like my oma literally moved from Germany to here. She spoke zero English.
Yeah.
She didn't read or write English at all. And
Yes.
she started a business. She
I
found
love
a business. She loved animals. So she was a dog groomer. Yes, it was hard work, but it
Yes.
was something that you didn't necessarily need a huge amount of skill for. You didn't necessarily need college level education. You
Right.
didn't necessarily need some big amount of money, right, to be able to
Right.
start it. She did it at her house. And so, you know what I mean? Like, you just sort of, I think a lot of times because we've been here for so long, like generations have been here for so long, we're
Right.
like, well, this is the pattern. We
Yes.
just find a job and work there till we die, and that's it.
Right. We have to break the mold.
Right. And I mean, it's just not true. Like, you literally, like I said, you can do whatever it is you so desire. And I'm always, and I talk a lot about being intentional. You just have to really like sit down and ask yourself, like, what is it that I want?
Right.
Not what your parents wanted for you, not
Yes.
what somebody told you you should that's not what I mean. And this is coming from the person, like, and if anybody's listened to earlier episodes, I had somebody on and it was so funny. The very first meeting she and I ever had, Jenna Rose, the very first meeting she and I ever had, and she's like, what are you trying to get out of this meeting? I don't really know if we're very well aligned. And I was like, okay, I
Uh-huh.
appreciate your directness.
Right.
Why do you say that? Is what I asked her. And she said,
Yeah.
well, you really feel like everybody should own a house. And I just don't agree with you. And I said, no, you misunderstand me. I
Uh-huh.
don't feel like everybody should own a house. I feel like it is one of the larger wealth differentiators out there. And I
Right.
do feel like it fits in most people's big picture plan of like what they want for their life.
Right.
But if that's not what you want, I'm okay with that. And I
Right.
know it sounds weird because I work in mortgage, right? But it's
Yeah.
true.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody's life looks different. What they want, what they desire, what they dream of. And to your point about being intentional, don't let people discourage you from pursuing whatever it is that you want to do, whether you want to own a dog grooming business, or whether you want to, climb the ladder in corporate, or you want to start a foundation. We need more people that are ready to step out.
Absolutely. Oh no, I completely agree. Well, and I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. Sometimes the people that can discourage you the most are the people that are closest to you. I love my mother and I am very close to her and I'm very appreciative of the strong woman that she is and how she raised me to be very independent and speak my mind and have my own voice. But last night she's like, I think it's great that you want to educate people. And I think it's great that your intention is this, but people don't care. People don't want information. They don't care or whatever. And she's probably not wrong. There's probably a lot of people out there who don't want to listen to what you and I have to say, Kathryn. They're like, whatever, that's not for me. And I say this all the time. I'm not everyone's cup of tea and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of you are looking for that, right?
Yes.
You're looking for that information to help.
I will say that I have learned in my lifetime that I can reach people that other people may not. You can reach people that I can't reach.
Absolutely.
And that's the great part of it is when we come together, when we're, iron sharpens iron, you're reaching lots of people. And we don't necessarily have to reach everyone, but there is someone out there that is needing information, specifically whatever it is that you or I have to offer. And that's our audience.
For sure. Well, no. And so I said that to say, like, is there somebody in your life that is important, influential, impactful? Don't necessarily let them convince you that what is bubbling up inside, right? What has been there, what's for you is not for you. Right. Just because it's not for them doesn't mean it's not for you.
Exactly. Yes.
Doesn't mean it's not your path. It doesn't mean that you can't make money at it, right? I mean, literally, I'm sure being that you are a creative, you were told a million times, you'll never be able to make a living at that. Like you're never going to be successful because what are you going to be, a starving artist, right? Like that's that old joke.
Yes. Yes. I definitely have heard that in my lifetime. And I kind of like to prove people wrong.
So me too, girl. Me too.
So yeah, you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go do it. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you have to know your value for yourself and you have to know it's your life. It's no one else's life. You got to make it the best that you can be for you. You're not living it for other people. So yes, I think you would agree. We encourage people to step out and try something new. Don't be afraid. This is your life. You live it, value yourself, and be inspired to create or do whatever you want to do.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, and we'll end it and then I'll give you the opportunity to kind of give our audience listeners kind of your offer. But I will say that people make it more complicated than it is. The first step is just stepping out. Now, I'm not saying the whole path is going to be like super simple, bed of roses, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misunderstand me. But this is Financial Mastery Simplified. We're trying to simplify it for you. The first step is literally just the step, right? Yeah. Like, this is something I'm passionate about. This is something that pulls at my heartstrings. This is something that I resonate with, that I really want to do. And you just take the next step, right? And then you're relentless with that pursuit. You just refuse to give up, no matter who tells you no. And you're going to feel like crap some days, and you can come back and listen to this episode 8 million times if you need to. Because I had to be reminded this morning that even though my mom said those things, that doesn't necessarily mean it's for me. Right. And it's hard. Like when you hear those things, like it sucks and it's not fun at all.
Definitely not.
It doesn't mean though that it's not for you. And it doesn't mean that that's not your path.
Yeah.
You just have to continue at it. Right. I mean, I think all the time about, what would we be doing if Thomas Edison had given up on like his try or whatever it is? Wasn't it like 2 or 3 or 400 tries or something?
More. Yeah. I love that. I love that story.
We'd be sitting in the dark.
Yes.
We literally wouldn't be on this podcast at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just have to remind yourself, like, you just keep going, because the truth is that probably whatever you're after is just on the other side of that hill.
Right.
Just on the other side.
Yes.
And so it's been amazing having you. We definitely want to have you back. Kathryn, tell everybody, where they can find you and what you have to offer them, and we'll close out.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity to be on. I have a website, KathrynIkle.com. Just my name. If you search it, you'll find it. Everything I offer is on there. If you ever want to collaborate, create creative, please let me know. You can send me an email, message me anytime. If you're looking to build a website or you're really looking to maybe elevate yourself a little bit, Third Entity, my consulting business, offers a lot of creative services. So feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help anybody.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming. And again, I hope this episode of Financial Mastery Simplified was helpful for you and for your life. And we will see you again next time.